Good day everyone, take your seats and settle down please. Right, we've got a lot to pack into today's presentation, so let's not dilly-dally. Today we're taking a look at SCP-4966, a safe class SCP dubbed the Lord of Munchies. I'm certain a number of you will fall in love with this SCP by the end. A quick thank you to the Council and Administrators, and let's get cracking. Description: SCP-4966 is an animate quadrupedal creature constructed of grey fabric. All attempts to pierce or damage this fabric have failed. X-rays and other examinations of SCP-4966 have shown a lack of internal structures. SCP-4966's body is completely devoid of markings or orifices, with the exception of 2 black eyes and a woven mouth. Vocalizations made by SCP-4966 are similar to that of a young feline. SCP-4966 is highly social and will become anxious and withdrawn if not socialized with on a normal basis. SCP-4966 has a tendency to imitate the actions of other entities it interacts with. SCP-4966 shows no apparent need to eat, drink, or breathe, although it will imitate these actions if another entity is doing the same. When presented with the corpse of an organism, SCP-4966 will extend its mouth through unknown means and consume the corpse in its entirety, causing its body to bulge and stretch around the added mass. All attempts to measure the tensile strength of SCP-4966 while in this state have failed, as SCP-4966's skin will visibly remain the same density throughout this process. No limit has been found to the degree that SCP-4966 is able to distend, with it having completely enveloped the corpse of an adult blue whale during testing. Once a corpse is fully enveloped, SCP-4966's body will slowly return to its normal size. During this deflation, SCP-4966 will experience alterations in its morphology consistent with the physical characteristics of the organism it consumed. The most common alterations is the addition and modification of limbs, although other alterations such as changes in 4966's proportions and vocalizations have been recorded. The only physical traits of 4966 that are unable to be altered are its existing facial features and grey coloration. Alterations will remain for approximately 4 hours after consumption, after which SCP-4966 will regurgitate biological waste consistent with the composition of the consumed organism. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-4966 is to be kept within a modified humanoid containment cell sized appropriately for a domestic cat to move freely. This cell is to be furnished with several pieces of cushioned furniture. Recreational objects such as climbing towers, plush toys, and small plastic objects have also been included. SCP-4966 is to be socialized with tri-weekly by on-site researchers. Tests involving SCP-4966 are to be approved by Dr. Bannock. Personnel wishing to provide SCP-4966 with additional recreational objects are to purchase them using their own funds. Addendum: included are several excerpts from the SCP-4966 experiment log for the purpose of further understanding 4966's transformation abilities. An adult male timber rattlesnake corpse was introduced. The corpse showed initial signs of decomposition. After consumption, SCP-4966's torso extended approximately 150 cm more in length than previous measurements, with its abdomen ending in a developed tail and rattle. The subject used this additional length during testing to wrap around and climb the limbs of researchers, but was not wrapped tightly enough to inhibit blood flow. The developed rattle was used by 4966 almost constantly during its transformation, often shaking it while interacting with researchers. The subject eventually regurgitated a mass of decomposing keratin and liquefied organic matter. A heavily decomposed adult male lionfish corpse was introduced. The subject was able to consume the entirety, including the venomous spines, without issue. SCP-4966 developed a pair of pectoral fins, an anal fin, and a large dorsal fin constructed of several long spines. These spines were observed impeding 4966's movement, specifically limiting its vertical mobility. Chemical analysis of the spines tested positively for lionfish venom. As such, no further interaction with 4966 was conducted prior to regurgitation. The subject eventually regurgitated a mix of broken spines and liquefied organic matter. A pile of degraded sycamore maple leaves was introduced. After consumption, no observed alterations were observed. 4966 consumed a single leaf before immediately regurgitating it. 4966 spent the remainder of the test playing within the pile of leaves, repeatedly jumping into it from provided furniture. Requests to provide 4966 with additional plant matter for recreational purposes are currently pending. The dismembered corpse of a female adult ostrich was introduced. The head and leg were absent from the corpse. After consumption, 4966's legs extended approximately 1.3 meters and developed two large toes similar to that of an ostrich. 4966's head extended approximately 1.2 meters upwards, forming a large curved neck. A pair of featherless wings developed on the side of 4966's torso. On several occasions, 4966 attempted to take flight using these wings, with 4966 eventually jumping off of provided furniture in an attempt to glide. Despite ostriches' normally territorial nature, SCP-4966 remained sociable during its transformation. The subject regurgitated several shattered portions of bone and a large amount of liquefied organic matter. The head of a well-preserved taxidermied male adult eastern moose was introduced. After consumption, 4966 developed large antlers approximately 1.4 meters across. Due to the size of these antlers relative to 4966's head, its sense of balance and mobility was severely hindered. Additionally, 4966 developed large ears that lacked structural support and were unable to keep themselves upright. Auditory cognition tests determined that the ears did not improve 4966's hearing ability. The subject regurgitated a large compact mass of metal slag, wood pulp, and shattered bone. A pair of new and unworn leather boots were introduced. SCP-4966 approached the boot before lightly biting the toe of the left boot. After examining the right boot in a similar fashion, SCP-4966 knocked over the right boot and climbed inside it, falling asleep shortly afterward. No alterations were observed, and there was no regurgitated matter. The well-preserved corpse of D-01763, who was an upholsterer prior to her incarceration, was introduced. No physical alterations were observed. Upon consumption, 4966 emitted several strained vocalizations before speaking in slightly incoherent English. 4966 began commenting on the construction of its furniture, claiming that its provided bedding material was far below standard requirement for domestic pets. It has since been determined that rather than inheriting physical alterations, SCP-4966 is able to access the memories of a deceased human by consuming them. In addition, 4966 gains the ability to speak in a high pitch, although its sentence complexity is comparable to that of a young child. Speech is lost upon regurgitation, but the memories of a consumed individual are retained. The subject eventually regurgitated a mixture of shattered bone and liquefied organ matter. Following this discovery, a raid on Site-17 was conducted by operatives of the Chaos Insurgency, where operatives attempted to gain access to SCP-4966's chamber, among other anomalous objects. Once the raid was repelled, a damaged insurgency document was discovered among the corpses that gave detailed information regarding several anomalous objects, including SCP-4966. 4966 was provided with the corpse of several Chaos Insurgency members in the hope of discovering how this information was acquired. An interview then took place between 4966 and Dr. Randall Bannock. The first few hours have been omitted due to lack of relevance.
SCP-4966, can we please get back to the subject at hand?
I want a munchie!
You've already been given 7 biscuits. You'll get some after we finish the interview.
No! I want a munchie now!
SCP-4966, this would go so much smoother if you simply cooperated.
I want a better bed too! The ones you guys have is lumpy. Make a bed out of munchies so I can eat it when I get hungry.
SCP-4966, if you answer the question, I'll give you another biscuit.
If I get the good munchies this time.
How did the insurgency know where you were?
The red shooty people? They found the room with my name on it.
How did they know that was your item number?
I was in the room, so the room had my name. They made lots of banging on the door and noisy noises. I was sleeping, but it was too loud and the bed was lumpy.
Your new bed is coming soon.
How soon?
Tomorrow. How did they know where the building was?
Munchie!
SCP-4966 is given a biscuit. The biscuit is consumed by SCP-4966 without chewing. No matter is regurgitated.
The pad people who visit me, they tell the red people stuff through the head parts.
Never mind. Can you be more specific? Who are the Pat people?
Lots of people give me pats. The white coat woman who gives me the toys is nice. I like her. She gave me the ball with the bell in it, and it makes a ringy noise. The orange person that gives me lots of pats, but its face keeps being different between pat times. It gives me pats though, so it's a good orange. You give me munchies and smell like cake, and that's a good munchie. Also, you said you were gonna get me a good bed.
Which one of the Pat people told the red people about you?
Munchie!
I'll give you a biscuit if you tell me.
But I want Munchie now!
If you tell me now, I'll give you 2 biscuits.
The orange person sometimes, they use the head parts so you don't get distracted from doing scribbles on the board you have like you're doing right now. That looks real hard.
What do you mean by the head parts? Do you know anything about that?
Munchie!
SCP-4966 is given 2 biscuits.
I think they use their head squishies, like the one in the red guy I munched, and the one in the spiky stripey, but that one wasn't too good.
Do you mean their brains?
SCP-4966 nods.
Yeah, they used the head squishies to talk.
Okay. What did they use in their brains to talk?
I don't know about the squishy parts. I think the big part that looked like a watermelon is used to talk. I'm not an organ psychic.
Let's put it this way. Do you remember the, orange person that you ate?
SCP-4966 nods.
What about their brain was different from the red people's brains?
The orange person was colder and was kinda too mushy. The red people had lots more stuff about shooty guns, but I don't like to hurt people, so I say, no thank you, mister. The orange person had a lot more about being stuck in a room, and I don't think they ever got to taste the crispy crunch of a munchie, which is sad.
Yes, that's quite sad. Was there anything in the red people's brain about how they talked to the orange person?
I don't think they could talk to the orange person because I already ate them.
No, the ones that would pet you.
1 second. I'm gonna do a real big think.
Take your time.
SCP-4966 sat in silence for several minutes, occasionally making confused vocalizations.
I think I found something from the red people, but it's a bit scrambly, and they use some big words I don't know.
Just do the best you can.
I think they're hungry, and they want to get some snacks for their sleepover.
I'm sorry?
They keep saying words about sonic chips, but they aren't eating any chips, and I'm confused. Wait, I think the orange people had the sonic chips already. Maybe they forgot them at the store, because they're saying stuff about not noticing the sonic chips. I want munchy sonic chips like the orange person gets.
Can you tell me which orange people can talk with the outside people?
Can I have sonic chips for munchies?
After some difficulties, SCP-4966 lists the identification numbers of 14 D-Class personnel, with several having known affiliations with the Chaos Insurgency. Autopsies of these individuals have discovered a small device implanted within the cerebellum capable of psionic transmissions. The transmitters possess mild antimemetic properties, making their emitted transmissions be perceived as mundane and unremarkable. For its role in discovering the informants, SCP-4966 was provided a bag of tortilla chips. And that concludes this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a single one. How cute is SCP-4966? Thank you one and all to the amazing patrons and members who made this all possible. Please consider joining them. And special thanks to Rick Trexon, Generals Alert, Sam B, JT Walker, Horizons, Dr. Soup, Jax Merrick, Alexander, Number of the East, Dr. Rome, Fallen Angel, Benton Savage. Big thanks to the council members Arctoast Kibara, Lenhox Captain Core, Hunter Killer Tree Arctos, Romulus the Commissar, Cat Clone Pepperfish, Arbiter Soul Kilo and Bob, and huge thanks to the administrators Viger, Kamana, Panzer, Wunderschnell, and A15 Demon Snake. Thank you for watching, I will see you all soon, and take care.